feet, let's face it, they're not exactly the most attractive things to look at. We tend to put them in shoes, forget about them. That's it. Having worked in movement pretty much the last 28 years, what became apparent to me over the last 10 years of my career was the importance of feet. I always knew they were important, but just never really quite appreciated how much so. What's apparent was that most of the clients, most of the patients I was seeing had weak, dysfunctional feet. So they were coming in with injuries proximal to their feet. The foot wasn't why they were coming in to see me. That wouldn't have been my remit back then. And they were coming in, it's usually back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. And what I realised was everybody coming in had these dysfunctional feet, and it was only really at that point where I started to dig a bit deeper, and that's where my interest and passion and subsequently my career path took me down that podiatry route. And I have, over the last 10 years, dug deep really into human biomechanics and human movement with an emphasis and focus on the feet. And this is really where I am, and it's clear that how important the feet are, and when the feet don't function well, it has a cause and effect and an impact on other structures and other parts of our body. For example, like loads of people come in and see me and they've got usually lower back pain. So obviously I'm sitting here in my Pilates studio in Glasgow right now. I've taught Pilates for 28 years. These are the reformer machines behind me, and people are coming in to me, they've got injuries, they've got stuff going on, functional stuff, pain in their body, and we help them out of that. And we see quite a lot of clients, back pain. Back pain's always the thing that most people come through the door with. Lower back pain, just that grumbling pain where they've been sent over from their consultant, from their GP, or from some other health professional who has essentially took them as far as they could go, and it is more of a kind of maybe muscle imbalance, weakening in their core. Usually that's the kind of diagnosis that they have been given, a weak core, weak pelvis. I'm not saying that's the case, probably will have, but that's only a tiny wee part in the picture. And that's what I've really realised over the last few years. How we spend time and what we do day in, day out will affect the output of what our body becomes. Essentially, if you sit all day, you're going to have generally tight hip flexors, tight hips, weak hammies, weak glutes. And that has an effect on your lower back, usually your core. It will usually affect how you put load in your body and load up tissues and subsequently stress those tissues, and then the output of that usually is pain. Lots of clients come and see me and they, for example, might have lower back pain. And what amazes me is that when we look at their feet, they're coming to me so they know I'm going to be looking at their biomechanics, I'm going to be looking at their feet. And many of them the majority of them have really poor flexibility, mobility and strain in their feet. Their feet are like big flippers. Most people's feet are like big flippers. You stick them in shoes and forget about them. Let's face it, you don't go into the gym and do any footwork, do you? In Pilates in here, the first exercise in Mr. Pilates' regime is your footwork. You start with your foot. So I've always known the importance, but just never quite appreciated the complexity that went with it and the link that then had on absolutely the whole rest of your mechanical system, your body. So, say for example, comes into me, the lower back pain. I usually will find lots of dysfunction all over their body, but first I'm going to assess their back, get a full history there. But what never ceases to amaze me is their feet. And 9 out of 10 times they have tightness somewhere. Usually, it's just to keep it nice and simple, usually gastrocnemius and soleus, right? So the calf muscles, the major muscles in their calf. So they might have tightness or a restriction